Hello, Ram Lee. Hope you're having an excellent Wednesday night or afternoon, or maybe you're into the Thursday morning, wherever, whenever, whatever is going on. I hope you are well. I was out playing some bocce ball today, and I came home feeling great. And I'm like, you know what? There is so much to be thankful for, but I'm thankful for this community. And for everyone who's watching this either on the rewatch or live with me right now, thank you for joining in. Excited to talk about some Rams. And so I thought today I'd talk about the games that we're most looking forward to at SoFi Stadium next year. So I'm just going to bring those up. And if you guys are watching, feel free to comment. I love hearing from you guys in those comments. But so I'm going to share my screen for a sec here, if that's all right with everyone. And so we're going to share the old screen here. And you're going to see what I see for just a little bit. And so here we are. There's subscribe notifications. This is the Rams website, but it just shows the 2021 home schedule. And so there's the preseason games at SoFi in the Chargers and the Raiders. And then the home opener against the Bears. There's the Buccaneers game, the Cardinals, the Lions, the Titans, the Jaguars, the Seahawks, and the Niners. So lots of fantastic teams that are going to come to SoFi this year. I think for me personally, I'm most looking forward to this Bears one just because it's the first game, and I can't wait to see and just all the players back. And it's the first game of the season. I think there's just some excitement that comes with that. I would say close. I'm excited for all the games, but behind that, I would say I'm really excited for the January 9th Niners game to be in SoFi. I think the Niners are a team that have had our number for the past 2 years, and it's time. We got to beat them. We got to at least split with the Niners this year. I'm hoping we sweep them. So that's the hope. I'm always looking forward to a Seahawks and Rams matchup and a Cardinals and Rams matchup. Often the Rams win those matchups. I'm actually really looking forward to this one here with the Lions to have the Jared Goff and Stafford, as they are on their new teams and just the awkward swap that is. And, of course, we're looking for taking on the defending Super Bowl champions, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So I would kind of say those are my top five. Out of all these games, the ones that probably concern me the most for a loss is clearly the Niners, just because they've had our numbers, and then the Buccaneers game as well. And that Titans game might be a trap game. Who knows? But I do think there's a strong possibility the Rams go 8-0 at home this year. And, I'd be pretty stoked about that. But let's see what you guys are doing. How are you guys doing? I'm curious to what's going on, so I'm going to stop sharing my screen here and get to some of these comments. So, Rams House, what's up? What's good? I am well. I played some bocce ball not too long ago and got some groceries after a long day at work. And, I'm here hanging out with my family tonight. We got Darth is here. Welcome in, Darth. How are you doing, man? I hope your night is going well. Thanks for coming in by. Let's talk some Rams. We got Jake M. How about that Raiders game? Jake, I know who you are now. Okay, sorry, I lost for a second. I don't think. The Raiders in the preseason game. I guess I'm looking forward to that. Like, in the preseason, we're only going to get to see the Rams are known for not playing any starters, but we get to see some of the Rams that are, maybe not as well known. So I'm excited about that. That'll be cool. Yeah. North Dallas 40. Always a pleasure to have you in the stream. So excited for you to be here. I'm really curious to everyone watching right now, what game are you most looking forward to in SoFi next stadium? Jay in the Bay, welcome to the stream. Our 49ers fan that loves to collaborate with me, and I'm a huge fan of his channel. I'm not a fan of his team, but I'm a huge fan of him. And he says He is looking forward to the Niners and Rams games. Let's go. Yeah, Jay, I'm excited for that. Me and you are definitely going to be collaborating those weeks. I'm really excited to see the Niners and Rams go at it. Sebastian once, hey Peo, sorry I couldn't make it this stream. I'll be like, hey, we'll see you next stream. That's all right. I didn't know how many people are going to show up to this. I'm stoked. According to my little number, there's 6 people watching, which is so cool, and definitely want to hear from you guys. Well, that's all the comments we have there for now, but I want to talk a little bit more about these games. So the way I see it, and I'll just bring up the shared screen again, and I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts. That North Dallas 40, you're saying you're most looking forward to the Bears game. Yeah, I wanted to actually talk about that, so I'm glad you commented North Dallas 40. So that Bears game, it's week 1. We'll get to see our actual starting roster. All the position battles will be settled at that point. And, I know in past seasons, week 1 has kind of been this, nervousness to it. I remember, when Goff was starting, there was always sort of this hopefully Goff improved over the offseason and he took his game to the next level. But this year, we don't have to worry about that because Jared Goff is no longer with the LA Rams. And this year, I really am excited for Stafford to show off his arm talent. I expect to win that Bears game and win it convincingly. I think that North Dallas 40, he's saying here, he said, he's game 1 with the Bears because it's the first game with Stafford. Yep, I totally agree. There's so much excitement about it. There's so much hope. There's so much belief. And we are excited for our new quarterback, Matthew Stafford. Yeah, absolutely. We got here coming in. Ooh. Viva Shay. Hey, thank you for coming on in. So stoked you're here. Rams versus Lions. Let's hope Michael Brockers is right. Yes, that's funny. I remember when Michael Brockers, before he was traded, talked about Stafford being an upgrade at the quarterback position, and then he got traded to the Lions and probably had a bit of an awkward moment with Jared Goff. That's funny. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see Brockers and Goff in that game. And they're players that we know well. It's one of those games I think the Rams should win convincingly. However, as Ram fans, we know every now and then Goff just has a game where he goes off. And maybe that's one of those games that because he's playing with a chip on his shoulder. I don't think the Lions have a good season, but maybe that's a trap game. I don't know. I'm convinced the Rams are going to win, but let's see. Also says, Rams and Colts, I want to see how 2 past first overall picks do in the new systems. Yeah, that's a fantastic way of putting it as well. And because we're going to get that with Goff and Stafford in the Lions game, but also with the Colts. That's a good game as well, going on the road. I specifically kind of looked at the home games, but yeah, that Colts game early in the season is going to be a really fun one to watch. I am possibly going to be at that game. I can't confirm yet. I live in Canada, and so the border is still closed. I check every day to see if there's any reopenings, and I hear murmurs. I hear that there's murmurs of the border reopening, and if it does, there's a very good chance that I go to either that game or the Giants game as well. So we'll see. Darth is saying the Rams-Bucks game is the one I'm looking forward to. Yeah, tell me why. I agree. That's an exciting game. You just have, the defending Super Bowl champs. We beat the Bucks last year, but that was in Tampa. So this year we're hoping we can beat them again. I'm hoping Aaron Donald has a big game. Yeah, no, I agree. North Dallas 40. When Goff was quarterback, I had a rosary in one hand and a horseshoe in the other. Yeah, it was always an up and down emotion of what version of Jared Goff was going to show up that week. And that's honestly the biggest criticism of Goff is just that consistency. And it just wasn't there. So yeah, well, hopefully you can just, put down the rosary and the horseshoe and enjoy the Rams with Stafford. Rams House is looking forward to the Rams and Bucks. Yeah. It seems like a lot of people are doing that. I'm glad we have it early in the season. And it's not like, because later on in the year there's always lots of injuries and things like that. So I'm looking forward to playing the Bucks, early in the season, and I hope we beat them. I hope we beat them good, especially because that game has such importance for later in the season if there is something to do with like playoff seeding, and because I think the Rams and the Bucks are two of the teams that will be competing for the number one seed in the NFC, and I think that bye week would just be so awesome for the Rams because they're the NFC West is going to beat each other up as a division because it's so competitive, and so that bye week going into the playoffs I think would just help the Rams so much. We got Vivek's here. He's saying also he said the Lions are going to beat the Rams week 7. He also wants to sack staff at least once. Yeah. I think you're talking about Brockers saying that. Yeah. I'm really curious to see what happens when Michael Brockers comes in, and maybe he's a good player. Like, let's give credit. He's been a good player for a long time, and so maybe Brockers does have what it takes to make a bit of a game-changing tackle that game. Absolutely. Rams saying, Rams going to the Super Bowl. That's what I like to hear. I could see it. I could dig it. Absolutely. I would love it. I hope it happens. And like I said, I think the Rams' biggest competition in the NFC is the Bucks and the Packers. And then I would say Seattle and the Niners. And so the NFC West, honestly, like I said, it's going to be a powerhouse division again. There's so much talent. And I think that if we can win the NFC West and get the top seed, I think that helps the Rams out a lot this year because the road to the Super Bowl goes through SoFi to get to SoFi because that's where the Super Bowl is. So that's the hope. I would probably say like Seattle and the Niners are our biggest competition in our division and in our conference, along with the Buccaneers and Packers if Rodgers comes back. Dark horse team I'm putting as the Minnesota Vikings. I think they're a team that underperformed a lot last year, and I think they're due for a bounce back year. And then a lot of the other teams in the NFC are rebuilding, or they're in kind of that, we're getting good, or it's kind of a make or break season. Like if you look like for a team like the Bears, right? Like I don't see them competing for the Super Bowl, but they're a team, the coach is coaching for his job. And, if Justin Fields plays, which according Matt Nagy did say in a press conference on a podcast, I forget which, on Chris Collinsworth podcast. I think this was yesterday. He said that it will be Andy Dalton as the starter, and there's no way Justin Fields starts week 1. So that'll be interesting to watch as we get closer to the season. I know a lot of things can change as the offseason goes on. And I'd be okay seeing Andy Dalton over Justin Fields week 1. With Justin Fields, there's a lot of unknowns. And Andy Dalton, you kind of know what you're getting. So, yeah, I hope that's the case. So we're all caught up on the comments here. And so I'm going to take a quick swig of water. Where did I put my water bottle? Right over here. And I want to know, what are you guys feeling? We looked at the home games. So, you know what? Let's take a look at the road games. Yeah. Let's take a little look at the road games here. So we're going to go share the screen. And we're going to share the screen. And it's shared. And now you see what I see. So, we'll go to the ESPN one here. Yeah. Okay. So we have here, we opened with Chicago. Then we got the Colts week 2, the Bucks week 3, and then the Cardinals and the Seahawks. That first 5 games, those are tough teams. Like those, like you have playoff team, playoff Super Bowl team, had the talent to be a playoff team if they weren't in our division and banged up towards the end of last season, but still a good team, playoff team. So like you start off the year, 4 of 5 games are playoff teams, and the one game is a team that just like barely missed the playoffs last year. But then we get a bit of an easier stretch here. We got the Giants, who still have a good defense, and that you got to account for. That offense, if Barkley's back in tip-top form, that's something you're worried about. You have Detroit, which on paper looks like an easy W, but you never know. With a new team, new coaching staff, new regime, and they have a new quarterback, I hear. Houston, I really hope this is a win. However, after the Jets lost last year, I never want to ever take any team ever for granted again. I hope Sean McVay learned from that loss and he goes in with the mindset that he's going to dominate this game. Titans a tough game. San Fran and at San Fran Monday night game, that'll be tough. Then we got Green Bay, that's a tough game. Jacksonville, that's an interesting game with Trevor Lawrence, and they have a new coaching regime, new offensive scheme, a new tight end in Tim Tebow. So who knows? Maybe that'll be something spicy. We'll see. Arizona, Seattle, and then Minnesota, my dark horse team in the NFC. I think Minnesota makes the playoffs next year. I really do. If Rodgers leaves their division, I think they win the NFC North. If Rodgers stays, I think they get a wild card in the NFC. Yeah. And Baltimore in January, that's going to be a tough game. And then we finish off the year in SoFi, welcoming in division rival San Francisco. So lots of fun games to look forward to. I'm really looking forward to catching all those games. Can't wait for the season. Jay in the Bay saying, who are the Rams' toughest foe in the NFC West? Oh, it's got to be the Niners. I'll give you that, Jay. I'll put a smile on your face. I know what you're doing right now. You're smiling and you're going, yeah, it's the Niners. Because the reality is they've beaten us the past 2 years. And like last year, they beat us with Nick Mullins, a quarterback. They just seem to have the Rams number. But I'm hoping that we break that. Hopefully we changed our number and we can, block the call, so to speak. And I am looking forward to those Rams-Niners games, and I expect them to be quite competitive. And I expect, definitely we won't have Jared Goff holding us back. So watch out, Jay in the Bay, because the Rams are coming for the Niners. Darth is saying, I think the Rams will be the number 2 seed. Interesting, Darth. I'm curious. Who do you think is going to be number 1? Do you think it's going to be the Bucs again, or someone else? Do you think Rams win the NFC West? I know that's what Ram fans are mostly hoping for. North Dallas 40 is pushed the wrong button. North Dallas 40 is if Goff was still the Rams quarterback, what would Rams 17 game 1-loss record be? I'd say 9-7, no play. Oh, okay, I understand your question now. Okay. If interesting. So first off, I think there would have been a quarterback competition between Wolford and Goff. I think Wolford played well enough in his limited time to earn that. And it just seemed like McVay was honestly, it seemed like Wolford, if he was healthy in that game against the Packers, would have started over Goff, which is crazy to think about. We can play all the what ifs. So I think that happens. Again, it's tough to say that. So if you just literally reverse the trade and the Rams, they still draft the same, like with Tutu Atwell and Jacob Harris. We still lose the same defensive players, things like that. I don't know. That's a great question, North Dallas. North Dallas 40, you're always asking those tough questions. I think it's more than 9-7. I still think, again, this is a tough schedule, but I think that Goff, he is someone that would have, hopefully developed a little bit more with McVay and maybe had a bit of a reality check. And that's what I'm hoping for Goff in his career now. I don't know if it'll happen, and I kind of don't think it's going to happen, but we'll see. But that's a really great question. I think they'd still make the playoffs as a wild card, even with Goff. I still think it's a very talented roster. Yeah, Jay in the Bay smiling. He knows the Niners are tough. Now, the Seahawks and Cardinals are no slouch either. Like, Jay, you and I have talked. The NFC West is one big dysfunctional family, and you never know who's going to win that. It's going to be a battle to the end, but I'm stoked to watch it next season for sure. Going on here. Oh, ProTech Sport Net. Hey, what's up? Welcome to the stream. On one of the latest episode of Moof, which I am still working on. Just got some interviews coming up, hopefully this weekend, to get some more episodes out with that. And but we did a Washington football team. That's who ProTech Sports Network is a fan of. And he did a fantastic job. Great episode. Go check it out if you haven't already. And thank you so much for coming to this stream. So glad you're here. Rams/Niners should be fun. Yeah, the Rams and Niners, like the NFC West matchups are always a fun time. They're tight. I'm really curious to see how that goes. And I'm pretty stoked. It's gonna be a good time. And if you're watching and you haven't already, I encourage you to smash that like button, make it go blue. Really helps the channel out. Big fan of that. Darth, I have the Bucks as the 1 seed. Okay, yeah, I could see that. I think that's definitely one of the teams that the Rams have to look out for. And I haven't checked out the Bucks schedule recently since I did the Moof episode of there. So maybe after I get cut up on some comments, we'll maybe take a look at the Bucks schedule. Jake, welcome to the stream. He's a big Bills fan. Jake was on my Bills episode of Moof. He's a really good friend of mine. So thankful for him. And he's been a big supporter, even though he's a Bills fan. But, yeah, he and I have talked about a Bills-Rams Super Bowl, and that would be really fun. That'd be good to watch. Those are two really good teams, and I would be stoked to see a Bills-Rams Super Bowl. And me and Jake we agreed to be, enemies for a week in the politest way possible. Darth, you do think that the Rams win the NFC West? Yeah. I like I said, I think it's going to be a battle, but I think the Rams, they can win it. Like I know I'm biased, but I think the Rams are the front runner for the NFC West. Protect Sports, he said, with Stafford at QB, what wide receiver will get the biggest increase in production in your opinion? Ooh, that's a really good question. So there's obviously Robert Woods and Cooper Kupp. And Deshaun Jackson, Van Jefferson, Tutu Atwell. You want to say Van Jefferson just because there is some hype around him as a second-year wide receiver that showed some flashes last year. He just didn't get that much playing time. But because the Rams lost Josh Reynolds to the Titans in free agency, I could see Van Jefferson being someone who definitely gets increased production. But at the same time, Woods and Kupp are ridiculously good at getting open. And there were so many times they would get open, but Goff just would not hit them down the field. He would overthrow them, or he would, take the dump off pass, or he'd fumble it or throw an interception. So I honestly think Robert Woods, I think this is going to be Robert Woods' best year of his career. He's just such a complete wide receiver that doesn't really get talked about that much. So if you're looking for your fantasy team and you can get Robert Woods at a decent draft slot, he's my first Rams receiver that I would personally take. I think that he gets a little more work than Kupp does because of the jet sweeps. Both Woods and Kupp will definitely get their targets, and they're both talented in their own right. But yeah, to answer your question, Protect Sports Network, I would go Robert Woods. Protect said, will Cam Akers be a breakout player this year? Yeah, I think so. Now, I'm one of those people that when I talk about the Rams backfield, Cam Akers is great. I'm a big fan of Cam Akers, and I hope he does really well. But I'm also a huge fan of Darrell Henderson, who does not get as nearly as much credit as Akers. I see them as a fantastic backfield together, the same way that like Cleveland has a Chubb and a Hunt. I think Henderson and Akers are fantastic in their own league. And so I'm really excited for these young players to really break out next year. I know a lot of people are hyping up Cam Akers, and he has the potential to be, the best running back in football. Like he showed some really great flashes towards the end of last year. I just don't know. I just don't know if I would put Akers on the same level as like a Christian McCaffrey or Dalvin Cook, mainly because Henderson is there and to be a change of pace back. And I've heard the comparison of Cam Akers to Todd Gurley. I don't think Cam Akers is as good as Todd Gurley in his prime. Todd Gurley in his prime before the knee injury, that was like you could build the offense around him. Akers, he's fantastic. Do I think he's on that status of like a legendary running back? I personally have not seen enough from him yet. However, I could totally see him breaking out into one of those stars. So again, if you can draft him, in your fantasy league, make sure to get him because Akers is going to be a big part of this Rams offense. But don't sleep on Henderson either because he'll make plays. North Dallas 40. You should have a live feed during all Ram games so we can You know what, North Dallas 40? I'll think about it. I'm one of those people, I really like to watch the game. I might do it here and there. We'll see. I'm still new to live streaming, and that's what it means so much to me that like 6 people are watching right now. That's so cool. I'm still learning how to do this well and do this consistently. It's something I love doing. I have a lot of fun, get a solid dopamine rush from it. And yeah, I'll definitely consider doing it during the Rams game. I'll probably try it once to see how it goes. And, I'm looking forward to it for sure. But thank you for saying that. North Dallas 40 is such an encouragement. Well, I'm going to take a swig of water here. Looks like you guys don't have any more comments here. If you have any questions about anything, let me know. Oh, man, good sweat. I was out playing bocce ball today in a big giant park with one of my friends, and I don't know if anyone here plays bocce ball, but it's such a fun yard game. Really love it. Well, let's tune in here to I want to check out the Rams news on the day. So we're gonna go through I'm gonna share my screen again with you guys here, and share if you care. Do you see what I see? And if we go Rams news, check out. So there's some headlines here, things like that. I like to go to Bleacher Report, check out what's going on. So there's something about unvaccinated NFL players will have a much tougher time. Not really interested in reading that. Rams 2021 schedule of opposing quarterbacks. Yeah, let's check that out. Okay, all right, we'll check that out. Let's go through here. So it's probably Andy Dalton week 1, Carson Wentz with the Colts, Tom Brady with the Bucks, Kyler Murray with the Cardinals, Russell Wilson with the Seahawks. So again, those are like 5 or not, maybe not Andy Dalton, but like 4 out of 5 of those could possibly be in the Pro Bowl next year or at least get votes for it. Daniel Jones, it's a big year for him. Maybe he finally takes the leap. Jared Goff. Who's Jared Goff? Right now it's going to be Tyrod Taylor with the Texans unless something with Deshaun Watson gets sorted out. So that'll be interesting. Ryan Tannehill with the Titans. Really his career has really started to come to life. He's got a stacked team around him. Jimmy G and the Niners. Might be Trey Lance by that time. Who knows? We'll see. Possibly Jordan Love with the Packers. Maybe Aaron Rodgers. Who knows? Hard to say. Trevor Lawrence with the Jaguars. Then Kyler Murray again. Russell Wilson again. Kirk Cousins. Again, I think don't sleep on the Vikings. Lamar Jackson, who's burned us before. Really hoping that our young defense and linebacking core can keep up and keep him in check. Because, Lamar has burnt us. Last time we played the Ravens, that was not a fun game. Then Trey Lance, possibly, or Jimmy G again. So we'll see. Out of these, obviously, Russell Wilson and Tom Brady are probably the 2 that – and Kyler Murray's good. but the Cardinals don't scare me yet until they beat us. And they haven't beat us with Sean McVay yet. So, yeah, and so unless Aaron Rodgers comes back, I would say, Tom Brady and the Bucs. Even though, that's the thing. Brady, he's a good quarterback. At this stage in his career, though, he doesn't have the arm talent as like a Russell Wilson. He's not going to move around like a Kyler Murray. So, I don't know. I would say probably Russell Wilson's the best quarterback that we're playing next year, unless Aaron Rodgers and Deshaun Jackson come back and take over. But, yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think about these quarterbacks? I'm going to stop sharing the screen here. So we got asking a question. Who is your favorite NFL team besides the Rams? That's a really great question. I would have to say it switches. I have a soft spot for like the Browns and the Lions just because like they have so many years of like and the Jaguars of like mediocrity and being bad. And you always kind of like to see those teams turn a corner. But I wouldn't say they're like my favorite. I have a soft spot for the Colts. One of my best friends is a big Colts fans. I really like the Bills. I have a lot of really close Bills fans. The Bills are actually cool because I live close-ish to the Bills Stadium. I have a soft spot for the Cowboys because my dad's a big Cowboys fan. That is coming up. I'm gonna have my dad on the Move series to break down the Cowboys schedule. I'm really looking forward to that. So I don't know. It's hard for me to pick one second favorite team. I'm a football fan first and foremost. So I love seeing good football. I probably follow players more than I do teams, except for the Rams. And but thanks for the question, North Dallas 40. And you're saying it's the Cowboys? Yeah. Yeah. Were you a fan of like the Troy Aikman Cowboys or like, the days with like Michael Irvin, or did you like Tony Romo and like Terrell Owens, that crew of Cowboys, or are you just a fan of Zeke and Dak? Sort of thing. I'm gonna take another quick swig here, and I think we'll start to close down this stream. It's you know what? We're gonna keep going because Mr. Happy Jero is in the house. How's it going, Mr. Happy? So glad you came to join us today. I'm not gonna lie, we're probably gonna end the stream soon, just because it seems like I knew this was gonna be a shorter stream today. We can't have a 2-hour stream every night. That was a fun stream. That was fun. This has been fun. I really enjoyed this. Thank you, everyone who showed up. Please hit the like button, subscribe, all that jazz, and we'll try and do some really cool stuff coming up. Coming up with the channel, I'm recording some more Move episodes. I'm hoping to get all 32 teams done. I probably won't have any out this week, just because it seems like the people I've been working with have had to kind of reschedule. So it looks like I'm going to record maybe 1 or 2 this weekend. And then next week I have some appointments lined up to record some more Move. And then, I'm going to continue doing Rams news and notes and just, celebrating this team that we're all part of the Ramley. And anyway, thank you so much for watching, everyone. Please like, comment, and subscribe, all that jazz. I'm Pale Tom, and I'm peacing out.